Stipko live with you. Today's Thursday, September 16th, and we're going to go to the West Coast, but I think we may actually go from here in New York City, beautiful Manhattan, over to the West Coast, and then back to, I think, Connecticut. I don't know. We're going to check in with one of our pals who, he was part of my youth, even though he and I are about the same age. Part of my youth in one of his films, and from that point forward, I was just like a huge fan. He's like Hollywood's secret weapon, and I don't know what's going on with him now, other than the whole acting thing. But first, before we go to him, let's play a little clip. This is sort of I personally selected this clip. Okay, Bronson Pinchot, but this is Bronson in a little film, True Romance, one of my favorites, and of course that's one of our films that's going to be, I think, in our roster of 6 Degrees from Paul Ben Victor. Everyone else has their 6 Degrees from Kevin Bacon, but PBV is our 6 Degrees because he pretty much is in every film and pretty much dies in every film. So he's the best dyer. But we'll get to Paul another show. Bronson Pinchot, this is Bronson in True Romance. Check it out.
Oh, fuck! Fuck! I can't fucking believe this. Look, God damn it, I knew it! I fucking knew it! Oh, fuck, I should have my goddamn head examined for driving like this. Look, Carla, Candy, you gotta help me.
What can I do?
Take this, hold this.
What are you, high? No.
Fucking put this in your purse!
I'm not gonna put that shit in my purse.
He's not gonna search you, you didn't do anything, now just put it in your bra!
I'm not wearing one.
Please, he's almost here, just fucking put it in your pants, just put it in your pants.
No.
You are the one that wanted to drive fast.
Read my lips. No.
After all I did for you, you fucking whore!
What the fuck do you think you're
Oh.
Hi.
So that's Bronson Pinchot. Bronson, how are you, buddy?
I'm fine. I sort of enjoyed listening to that. Wasn't she great? Wasn't that laugh great?
It's classic. I mean, I'm watching it and I'm thinking to myself, I'm panicked because you're panicking me so hard with the hurry up, hide it, and then she comes out with that laugh and it's just killing me.
You know what's so much fun about seeing things or listening to things way after the fact is not to be corny or smarmy, but you do get so far into character that all you think about when you're shooting it is, this bitch won't take the cocaine or whatever. I mean, you're a good character.
Right.
But years later, I always think, what a great laugh she picked for some coked out whore.
Right.
It's brilliant. It's really brilliant.
No,
and
the whole scene is so real.
It's so fun to admire. It's happened to me a million times. Way after the fact, I look at people in scenes that I was with, I think, God, they were great. But at the time, mostly, most good film scenes are about conflict. So at the time, you're usually irritated with them or pissed off or scared or something.
Right.
And it's only decades later you can appreciate how good they were. But I always think that laugh is, God, it's so brilliant.
It's classic.
So trashy.
It is. That's the perfect word. I'm glad you said it better than you than me.
It's brilliant. I mean, years later, I forget her name. She was very, very good. Years later, we were on the freeway in side-by-side limousines, and I saw her because she had the window open so she could smoke. And I saw her, and I rolled my window down.
Are you kidding? You guys, you passed a little Grey Poupon and did the whole thing?
Yeah, she was a doll. What a good actress.
Yeah.
But, at the time, all I could think of was, you fucking whore. Did we say fucking whore on your show?
If it gets past the sponsors and censors, then it's okay with me. So let me ask you a question. The scene, and there's not enough time to run every single scene, but there's another scene from that film, True Romance, with you in the elevator where you're just breaking down. Now, You know, you do. I mean, many people may or may not know how accomplished and how, you know, practically Shakespearean of an actor you are. I mean, you're the bomb. First of all, you know, they think Perfect Strangers.
Wait, here, I'm gonna stub my toe on the floor. So go ahead.
You want to savor that for a sec? But it's the truth. I mean, it's true. Anyone that's seen, you know, your work outside of Beverly Hills Cop and Perfect Strangers, you know, they'll go, holy moly, this guy's got range, you know. But I think in True Romance, first of all, True Romance is totally underrated. And even though it was rated pretty decently, I mean, it's so underrated for the performances of all the actors in there, from Brad Pitt to yes, even Paul Ben Victor. But in that film, you are all over the map. You break down in that elevator. Tell me a little bit about that, because, you know, how do you muster up that complete shame and panic, you know?
I'll tell you the story of that. Tony Scott is a wonderful actor's director. He's so, you know, spoils you forever, because he's very, very empathetic with the actor. As a matter of fact, in the scene you just played, he would stand right next to the lens and he would hyperventilate to show me the kind of energy that it should have. Instead of having a talk with me and saying you should be ready to almost, you know, faint, he just stood next to the lens and just went, like, you know, and it just put it kind of into my bones. He said to me early on about the breakdown scene, he said, what do you need for that? What do you need me to provide for you? I said, 24 hours notice minimum. That's all I need. That's what I need for my emotional prep. He
Wait,
said,
24 hours what?
Absolutely. At 24 hours notice. Like, I need to know 24 hours before you shoot it.
Right.
Because I need that. So he came up to me one day, and only he could get away with this. He put his hand on my shoulder and said, Ronnie, our set hasn't come in, you know, for this other thing's got to shoot. So we need to shoot the elevator today. And I said, you're joking. And he said, no, man, no. And I said, I can't do it in less than 24 hours.
What do you have to do in 24 hours? What is there pharmaceuticals? What's the involvement?
No, it's just you've got to tell yourself, you've got to have the time to tell yourself, okay, you're going to go to a place that you don't normally go. It's like if you get the call that your dearest friend has died, your actual real immediate response is complete zero. Shock, denial, numbness.
Right.
And 24 hours later, after you've been thinking about it, you pass the casket and you go, you break down. It takes, in my experience, other people are different, but it takes from when you send the signal to your body, okay, it's okay to break down. It's got to germinate overnight.
Right.
Because it's not normal. It's not what we do. I mean, you know, it's not. It's days later usually.
Right.
So he said, you got to do it today. I said, I can't. He said, you got to try. Please, for me. I said, okay. So he did something that is quite brilliant. He announced to the crew, he said, I promised Bronson a day's notice, and I had to take it away, and he's going to be a trooper and try it, but I'm going to give him the right to stink. Because if he tries to be brilliant, he's going to just fall on his face. So let's do the first take, and Bronson, you can be as awful as you want. So we did a take, and he said, that actually was almost good enough to use, and now Bronson is going to do a take that's pretty good. Not as good as he can do, but it's going to be pretty good. And we did another one. And even telling you the story, I can feel this little thing in my stomach. And then he said, keep rolling. Bronson, for it. And I just burst out crying. And we did 11 takes. And I cried my eyes out on every one. And at the end of the day, he gave me this bear hug and said, you see, you don't need 24 hours. And he said, and now you can rest for a week. I don't need you for a whole week. So I went home, collapsed in bed. The phone rings at 6 a.m. We love it so much, we want to shoot coverage on it all day. Get over here. So I went in, we shot 20 or 40 more takes. I cried my eyes out every time. But it's because he gave me the right, you know, I should write a book about that acting lesson called The Right to be Bland. Because I remember he said, on the first take, we're going to it's okay, you can be bland. On the second one, you better be just sort of okay. And the third one, just Go for it. Oh, he's such a genius.
All right, so
Isn't that smart?
listen. After all that, I've got to cue this. Engineer Julian's going to cue that scene up, and we're going to play it in a second because we have to play that scene. And for our viewers, they got to see it. So give us a second on that. In the meantime, do you remember what take it was that was like the key take for the? Was it like the first take was the one, or was it the last one, or
Number 3.
Oh, it was. It was number 3
one.
out of however many.
You can hear take 3 in it because all of a sudden you can hear my voice go like that. You can
Right,
just hear
right.
this. You can just hear this wail come out of me.
No, the other direction. Hold on, we're queuing you up here, Julian. It's right in the beginning, right after the first clip. No, all the way to the beginning. The elevator after this, and it's coming up right here. Let's play it from right when the cop approaches the door. She laughs with a Coke all over your face. I'm sorry, Bronson's on the phone. He doesn't have Skype, or he's not on camera anywhere, so he's not seeing what we're seeing. So I'm sort of helping him through it here. All right, so this is Bronson in True Romance, the scene with Mr. Scott directing, and let's just take a look at it. It speaks for itself. Nice little intro.
If anything out of the ordinary goes down, I swear to God, you are going to be the first one shot. Clarence, he didn't do anything. What the fuck? Shut up, all right? I'm going to blow this motherfucker away. Fuck you.
I wish somebody would just come and get me because I don't like this anymore.
Get a hold of yourself, you fucking sissy!
I can't face it. I'm sorry, but I just can't. And I know if somebody would just come to my rescue, everything would be all right.
Elliot, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Prince, I'm sorry. You don't want your...
All right. So that's the scene, and those are little excerpts, and fantastic job, by the way, Bronny. Nice
You
work.
want to hear something really pretty cute?
Yeah.
I recently guest starred on Hawaii Five-0, and Scott Kahn, who's just a super actor, and I liked him right away. And he walked up to me. Instead of saying hi, he's really got a very delightful personality. He looked at me, and he didn't say hi. He didn't say anything. He goes, "You want to see my Bronson Pinchot imitation?" I said,
That's what he said right off the top.
Let her rip. Let her rip. And he goes, he just went right into the elevator scene in True Romance. And it was really, 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 really like Memorex. And that's how he said hello.
Well, I did my impression of you today. With talking with one of the producers here, I said, Bronson, you remember? It's not sexy. It's animal. Cover it up. It's not sexy. So that was my impression of Achmel, Foley is here to see you. That was the big one. Beverly Hills Cop. Now, were you a little leery about doing 3 after 1 and not doing 2, and then?
No, I didn't want to do 2. Because I just didn't want to, and then
No. You can't. You got to tell me about that. What happened with 2, or you just are you leery of sequels?
2 was too quick. 2 was too soon after 1, and I had my own series, and
Right.
I just didn't feel it. I didn't feel it, and they did something which. I just, I do everything by instinct, absolutely everything. But
Right.
I was working out at the same gym as Jerry Bruckheimer and Tom Cruise.
Right.
And Tom was making fun of my car, which was a piece of crap because I've never cared about cars.
Right.
And so one day, I was at the water fountain, and Jerry Bruckheimer said, "Look, what's your problem? And why don't you want to do 2? I mean, I'll get you out of your little series." And I was insulted. What do you mean get me out of my little series? Like, he
Right.
was assuming that to do 2 minutes in his movie, he would get me out of my little series. I just didn't like that.
No, that's not
And
right.
then he said, "Go look out the window." And he had bought, I don't know how they got rid of my car. I don't know what they did. I don't know how they jury-rigged it. But they had towed my car away, and they had some extraordinary, I don't know cars, but it was the most top-of-the-line Mercedes-Benz sports car convertible in my spot. And he said, "That's yours." And, I don't know why, but it just made me sick. It was actually quite a charming gesture, but the way it hit me at the time was, well, don't denigrate my series. I love my series. I I love my series. Don't make fun of it. And
Which series was it, by the way?
Don't throw my car away and put your fancy ass car in it. It just creeped me out.
Yeah. What was that? What series was it that was running at that time?
Perfect Strangers.
Yeah, it was the big one. Okay, just making sure I didn't.
Yeah, and I was, but the thing is,
that's the wrong approach.
A different person.
Yeah.
Well, I was young and I was, a far more brittle human being. I wasn't up for that kind of teasing then. Maybe, today if somebody said, because I do have a new series, which I'll tell you about in a second.
Yeah.
Now, but if somebody said to me now, I'll get you out of your little series and you do my movie, I just joke around and I say, well, why don't you get me out of your little fucking ego trip and we'd just make a deal. But I was I was not able to do that. Now, when the third one came around,
right?
John, what was his name? Who directed it? John Lovingman. Yeah. It won't come to me. He, wonderful director, and he called me up. 180-degree different approach. He called me up and he said, I want you to do this movie. I said, I'm not really interested in recreating the thing. He said, look, we've been shooting for a few weeks. It's just not a great movie. It's just not clicking. It's just got nothing going on, frankly. Would you please do this movie? It's gonna be so wonderful if there's just a little spark of you in it. And it was so honest. John Landis.
Landis, of course. I love that you said it. He was so honest about his overwhelming compliments of my career and how much better the film would be. Funny thing is, Landis was right, though. You think about it. I mean, that's...
Well, what he was being honest about, he wasn't being honest about how great I was. He was just telling me, he basically said, the movie's in trouble, and I am calling you at home and making a personal appeal.
Right.
If you come in, it's just going to give it a little. It's a very dead movie. I mean, we all know that Eddie is capable of great stuff, but he was. I don't even think he would mind my saying he really was out to lunch at the time. He was very depressed about
the marriage stuff and all that. Yeah.
Pardon me?
The marriage stuff and all that during that period.
No, he was really sad about where his film career was at. When I showed up on the set, he was all down and very humble, and he said, he just said that, it's just not working. It's not working right now. He was very sad and depressed.
Yeah.
I mean, I was impressed that he was so honest about it, but I don't want to mislead you. The point of my story was not I made the movie. The point of the story is that John called me and said, it's just not, we don't have a lot going on, and I don't know what your reasons are for not doing it, but it would mean a lot to me, and I think the audience would be happy to see it. And I loved that, so I went and did it. We had a great time. Mind you, Eddie was almost never on camera. He was almost never on set with me. He just didn't feel like being there. So we were shooting in a hotel, and he had a room upstairs, and he would just say, I just want to go lie down. And he would go upstairs, and John would do his lines. So in most of that scene, if you don't physically see Eddie standing there in top three, it's really John Landis saying the lines off camera. But I didn't mind.
All right, now, did that affect your performance at all? I mean, was that...
No. It really didn't, for a number of reasons. Number one, it was just, again, it was just really real and honest. Eddie was like, God, I'm out of it. I don't want to be. He was just, that's fine. I mean, and John is so delightful because John is this, up, excited, nice, old-fashioned Jewish guy trying to sound black, which was, kind of fun. And he was trying to do his best Axel Foley, and of course this was so unaffected that it just put a great twinkle in my eye. I really, I had great affection for him, and I liked him. So it worked because, of course, one of the themes of that scene is, that we're happy to see each other again.
Right.
after, 8 years.
Right.
I like a little bit of stuff like that. I mean, I remember John Travolta telling us once, my ex-girlfriend directed him in all the Look Who's Talking movies, and he said, because of the camera angle on the big Brooklyn Bridge scene in Saturday Night Fever,
right.
He said, I did the whole big speech to a piece of tape because they couldn't fit the camera and the actress and me all on the bridge. And a lot of times in movies, when someone says, there's a famous movie called Juarez from 1939, and Henry Fonda and Bette Davis. And Bette Davis said, Henry Fonda left the set to go be at the birth of his daughter, and she did her scenes to a piece of tape.
Wow.
You just do it sometimes. If you already know how you feel about the other character, you can kind of just rev it up for a piece of tape.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to be a consummate.
Else. It happens all the time.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to be a consummate professional, though, Bronson.
Well, you just, it's like you just pull it out of your butt, and if it doesn't work, then you say, okay,
right.
Now what are we going to do? But
all right, Bronson Pinchot, we're going to take just a quick little break here. When we come back, I want to hear about the new series. I want to hear about, you got a little real estate thing going on. I'm kind of into what you're doing there with design and such. But we'll talk about that if you want. If it's a secret, we don't have to. But
hi.
We'll be back in just 1 second with Bronson Pinchot on Stipko Live.